Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I am AdamMcKola. Hope you guys are all doing well. In this video, I will give you 10 things that Erik Ten Hag has fixed since he's arrived at Manchester United. Now, after a very good pre-season, we started the Premier League campaign with two dreadful results. Losing against Brighton, losing against Brentford. I remember going into that Liverpool game just fearing the absolute worst. Now, I had confidence in Erik Ten Hag's ability to turn it around. But if we had lost that game against Liverpool, you can imagine some of the headlines and the comparisons to De Boer and all those kind of things that would have went down in the media. Thankfully, United went on a good run. We won 4 league games on the spin. And then, of course, we lost against Real Sociedad. But we had returned to winning form in the Europa League and got our first win in that competition. Now we've got a little bit of a break. But Ten Hag has fixed some things already at Manchester United since he's arrived. So let's have a look at those things that I think is fixed in this video and get your thoughts in the comments below as well. What things do you think he's got right since joining the club and what things do you think he still needs to sort out? Get your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribing as well. Help us hit 150k. We've set the target. I need you guys to help me hit it. So get hitting that subscribe button. Anyway, let's get stuck into this video. Now, in at number 1, pretty obvious, we've settled our defence, and I think after the first 2 games against Brighton and Brentford, they were clear that changes needed to be made, and we made those changes. Since then, we've gone with Varane and Martinez at centre-back, and they are building a partnership which looks very, very good. Obviously, it's early doors, anything can happen, but we've got a settled centre-half partnership. Varane is now fit. Ten Hag took his time with him. Touch wood, that remains. Thuram Malacia coming in instead of Luke Shaw. He's bringing a tenacity, he's bringing a drive, he's bringing invention in terms of going forward, and he's doing exactly what Ten Hag wants from him. In Diogo Dalot, we're seeing possibly the most improved player at Manchester United. He's obviously kept Aaron Wan-Bissaka out of the team and out of any opportunity to play, and he's playing well for Manchester United. So that defence is looking very good. We're keeping clean sheets again, and we're looking solid at the back. We're scrapping for everything, and even like celebrating clearances and tackles and stuff. I love that stuff. A big part of it though is Martinez and Varane forming a partnership, and I think that's one of the main things that Ten Hag has fixed in his early days at Manchester United. In at number 2, now this had the possibility of overshadowing Manchester United's start to the season and kind of disrupting everything. And I think maybe at the start of the campaign it did. And that was Cristiano Ronaldo. And I feel like Erik Ten Hag has sorted that issue for now. Anyway, he's fanned the flames of it. He's kept Cristiano Ronaldo on side. Cristiano Ronaldo has now got his first goal of the season. And even though he's starting on the bench and, he's not starting games in the Premier League, Cristiano Ronaldo seems to be happy with what's going on at the moment. Now, obviously, he wanted to move away from the club, and the only reason he stayed was because there weren't many options there. But since that has kind of been settled, Cristiano Ronaldo looks like someone that's pulling in the right direction. And I think a big part of that is the way Erik Ten Hag has handled it, both during the pre-season when he was discussing Cristiano Ronaldo in the press, and since then, even with the way Cristiano Ronaldo, when he left that game early in pre-season, his first game, and he left at half-time, I think the way Erik Ten Hag dealt with that as well was very, very good. He was diplomatic in dealing with it, and he's known that there's a possibility Cristiano Ronaldo stays, and United need goal scorers. So keeping Ronaldo on side makes sense, even if he's not in your, plans every single game. How that will develop remains to be seen, and in 2, 3, 4 months' time, if results take a turn for the worse and Cristiano Ronaldo starts throwing his toys out the pram, maybe we're speaking differently. But so far, so good. In at number 3. He's got Marcus Rashford playing well and confident again. And we're looking at Marcus Rashford. He's scoring goals and he's making goals. And that's what we want to see from him. Obviously, he's picked up an injury, which isn't ideal. But before then, he had a few goals for Manchester United. I think it was 3 goals. And he had as many assists as well, creating chances for his teammates. And we're starting to see Marcus Rashford be confident in terms of taking players on and things like that. Now, I still think there's large things that he can improve on, and he's still a little bit away from being the very best Marcus Rashford. But the fact that he's scoring goals again and he's creating goals again is what we need to see, because he went last season, we were looking at Marcus Rashford and he didn't look like he was enjoying his football at all. And I've kind of been worried that you know, this is a player we're going to fail to develop after all the potential he's shown, all the goals he's scored, the way he was coming through. He was lacking leadership and he was lacking coaching. Erik ten Hag is getting into him. And I think he's getting the best results out of him as well, whether that's through the middle or from the left. Now I think he's better from the left. He's now got competition for his spot, and he'll rise to that hopefully for the rest of the season. He wants to fight for a spot in the World Cup squad and all those kind of things, and he has to perform well to do it. But so far he has started and he's responded to Erik ten Hag's coaching. In at number 4, much similar to number 3, he's getting the best out of Jadon Sancho. Now I actually think Jadon Sancho last season was one of our better players out of a very bad bunch. I think there was De Gea, Ronaldo and Sancho that could come out of the season with any, you know, sort of credit. But we still knew there was a lot more to come from Jadon Sancho. Much like Marcus Rashford, I think he suffered from a lack of coaching, a lack of tactical guidance, a lack of, you know, patterns on the pitch, because that's what he relies upon, passing and moving. If we look at the goal he scored against Sheriff, the passing and moving that he was involved in, you know, he drifts central, passes the ball off, makes a run into the box, he's found again. He enjoys being found in those positions. And we need to get players around him, get movement around him, which would enable us to get the best out of Jadon Sancho. And we've been able to do that. He built a good relationship with Diogo Dalot in the pre-season. Now he's going to switch over to the left occasionally because of the signing of Anthony. But he's still showing that he's a man that can get goals for Manchester United. He's got 3 goals already this season, and I'm sure he'll continue to get more. Loving what we're seeing from Jadon Sancho. In at number 5, our ball retention is much, much better. Now, most of these things that I'm saying are coming down to the coaching of Erik ten Hag. But if you look at our ball retention and some of the passing moves that we're making, I think Eriksen's a big part of it. A signing for free, by the way. Possibly signing of the summer. I know you've got the likes of Erling Haaland and everything. Definitely United signing of the summer when you look at value for money. And Eriksen in there is just a little magician with the small short passes, with the little flicks in behind, with the threaded through balls for strikers and attackers. He's showing he's got the whole Arsenal in play. And even if you don't get the assist, he'll get the pre-assist. And he's very, very tidy in that midfield. I don't think we've had a midfielder like that really since Michael Carrick, Paul Scholes really, that can really pass the ball and dictate play. And Christian Eriksen's doing that. Manchester United's players are looking a lot more confident on the ball too. When you look at from back to front, the likes of Varane, Martinez, Malacia, Dalot, they're all confident on the football. We're even seeing De Gea pick the right pass at times now, which is a shock. You know, you go further forward, the midfield looks a lot better. We look a lot joined up, a lot more joined up and a lot more cohesive. We're passing the ball through midfield. This is down to the coaching. Our ball retention is a lot better. Now, I still think he'll want us to improve much more, and we'll have to dominate games for longer periods. And I think in terms of controlling games, maybe that's where we can improve. And there's been a few games where we've had to dig in and scrap and battle, and we're showing we can do that. But he has got us playing a lot better on the ball. In at number 6, he has united the dressing room. Excuse the pun, but he has united the dressing room. We're a lot more. There's a lot more unity there. There's less leaks. There's less people talking and running their mouths. Cristiano Ronaldo seemingly happy. Like, he's got everyone on side. And I think a large part of that is down to the fact that players that are playing well, keeping their spot, there's no favouritism and all those kind of things. And we're seeing us getting results at the moment, which obviously helps in terms of the unity in the dressing room. But there really does seem to be that there at the moment. You're seeing us battling for everything on the pitch. You're seeing us celebrating tackles and blocks and everything together. You're seeing a real fight from this team, which we haven't seen in a long time. People fighting for the badge, fighting for their shirt, fighting for their spot. We've got that back at the moment. Now we need to continue building upon it. We could possibly still be a little bit fragile, a little bit emotional if we were to lose a game or two. But we need to keep going. And the dressing room is much more united. Number 7. That holding midfield position, he signed Casemiro. That's all he had to do really now. I think Casemiro's early stage at United, he's shown glimpses of being the guy that's going to break up play and make the tackles and get into people's faces. But he's also maybe been a little bit off the pace, and I think he needs to build up his fitness and build up his match fitness and sharpness and get into, you know, the way Manchester United are playing. But in just simply bringing Casemiro to the club has meant we've filled a spot that we've been struggling to fill for a long time. We haven't filled it in any transfer window. And I know we were looking for Frankie de Jong, and I know we wanted Frankie de Jong, but getting that midfielder to play in that defensive midfield position was vitally important. Casemiro coming in is that guy we can rely upon, hopefully, in the big games. Obviously, he's got the likes of McTominay and Fred playing better as well. But Casemiro coming in is so important. In at number 8, the defence in transition is a lot better. Now, how many times last season did you see United attack, get caught on the break? There's like 1-2 players back, no one there. Now, it's basics, but we're defending a lot better as a team. From the front through to the back, we're covering for each other. Even when Terrell Malacia goes wandering up the pitch and he tries to get forward, if we lose the ball, there's people tracking back. Again, this comes down to coaching, this comes down to tactics, this comes down to the positional awareness that Erik ten Hag is giving his players, and we'll get a lot better as that comes. But we are defending in transition a lot better than we have been over the last few years, and we've needed to do that because we're a team that wants to keep the ball, that wants to attack. So that means you're going to have to get back into position. You're going to have to be able to defend when you lose the ball, and when we lose the ball, we are getting back, which sounds obvious. It sounds like something you have to do. Do you know what I mean? But we haven't been, and now we are. In at number 9, it's competition for places. You're seeing a real battle for spots in this team at the moment. You know, the likes of Harry Maguire not getting a sniff. Now, I think that's down to his ability as well as anything. But we've seen Harry Maguire getting played every single week in previous times, and that was because we had to do it. Now we've got Varane and Martinez playing and battling for their shirt and keeping their shirt. Malacia keeping Luke Shaw out. Wan-Bissaka not getting a sniff. In the midfield, McTominay is playing really well at the moment, and there's arguments, should Casemiro even come in? Which is incredible considering where, you know, McTominay was maybe at the back end of last season. We're battling and competing for positions at the moment. You've got the likes of Eriksen. Donny van der Beek's not even getting a chance at the moment. And in those forward positions, I still think we're lacking in certain areas, and I think we could do with a number 8. We could do with a right back. We could do with another striker. But Rashford's scoring goals now. When Martial comes back in, you know, who's going to play in those front 3 positions? Cristiano Ronaldo's on the bench most of the time. So we've got a lot more competition for places now, and people really wanting to wear that shirt, which is important. And in at number 10, it's that away form. Our away form was dreadful. I think we lost about 7-8 away games on the spin. It was horrible. There's a reason I've wiped it out of my memory because I don't want to go back there. But Manchester United's away form is a lot better now. We're winning games, you know, Southampton, Leicester, away to Sheriff, where it sounds easy on paper, but they're a team that have done well against Real Madrid previously. So Manchester United are playing a lot better on the road. We're getting the results, and we're digging in as well, which you need to do away from home when fans are up for it, and you know they're all on your back, and it's their cup final because Man United are in town. You need to be up for the battle, and we have been so far this season. Although it's a small sample size, our away form is a lot better. So those are 10 things that I think Erik ten Hag has fixed at Manchester United so far this season. I keep reiterating so far, but let us know what you think he's done well this season and what else you think he needs to fix before the season is out. Get your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. Head over to twitch.tv/AdamMcKola as well. Follow and subscribe over there. And until next time, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.